Bruce Lee was the real deal.
It was the real deal. No, he could fight. He could fight. Yeah.
That motherfucker turned the nation around.
I mean, I grew up in the you know, a lot of people don't. Well, some people know, but I grew up in the fight game because my dad was a bus driver, obviously from Bronx Tale, but he also was a professional fight trainer. And so I grew up boxing, never professionally, never. I just trained, and you know, when I grew up, and I didn't want to be a fighter. I wanted to be, you know, I wanted to be an actor. But my dad always said that, you know, you could be good with your hands, but if you fight a guy who's good with a wrestler was the toughest guy to fight in the street.
Yeah, in the street.
A wrestler. I bounced Joey, and my son said, "You got to tell Joey that story because he's into martial arts." I said, "All right, I'll tell him." When I was a bouncer in 1981. I was a bouncer in the Limelight in Manhattan. Wow. It was like the hottest club in England.
I must have walked past you 3 times.
You must have. You had to, because I used to work the door. And the only guy, you know, I got it to some people. They called me the Perry Como because I was always like cool. Like I wouldn't like, I said, come on, relax. You don't want to fight. I was a good talker, right? But this one fucking guy got into, and I squared him up to hit him, and he went down on me, and he, you know, he gave me a double
leg, yeah.
Double leg. I'll never forget. I told him the story. And I found out later he was an all-American college wrestler. He got me down on the floor, and then I remember, I'll never forget it, Joey. I grabbed his shoulders to roll him. It was like I was picking up a building, Joey. I couldn't move.
No.
Like he just knew how to brace me. Joey, I felt like a child. I felt like a baby. And thank God the cavalry came, my other bouncers, and they got him. But if they didn't come, forget it. I was getting my ass kicked, man.
It's crazy the power that a wrestler has. They have a lot of strength because they train in endurance based.
Right.
And the years that you keep wrestling, you just get this brute strength that you can't get from weights. Weights can't give you that type of strength.
Right.
You learn to be heavy. You know, they learn how to be heavy.
Yes.
It's a tough thing. I didn't like wrestling. At that age, at 15, I didn't want to hug no guys. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to play basketball.
Right, but you did jiu-jitsu, right?
I did jiu-jitsu. I joined when I was 50.
50?
Yeah. Wow. And I go today.
You still go?
Yeah, but Gracie and Old Bridge, they have an old guy class.
Wow.
Every day from 12 to 1.
An old guy class.
There's a guy in there, Charlie. He's a gangster from Staten Island.
Really?
He's fucking 60. I asked him, Charlie, what do you do? He goes, I sell businesses. I buy and sell businesses.
At 60 years old, I bet you better not fuck with this guy.
This guy's a black belt in karate all his life. And then he started wanting to get into jiu-jitsu when he was 55. And the other day, me and him were fucking around, having a great time. We're both old timers. And I went to scissor sweep him. So I pulled him into my guard and I put my leg in between him. And I was ready to scissor sweep him. He didn't budge. He didn't fucking budge, guys.
Right.
All the technique in the world, because you got to put their weight on top of yours.
Right.
He's a big Italian dude. And I went to sweep him, nothing. It was like pushing against the wall. And the lady told me he was a wrestler.
Yeah.
He goes, I wrestled in college. He goes, I dropped it, after college.
Yeah.
But I picked it up again with jiu-jitsu. It was
but what you said is an interesting thing. Not even weight. It's like they get that strength in their hands.
It's a different
the grip strength,
It's a different strength. It's funny because I joined jiu-jitsu because I was sick and tired of watching people watch stuff and put down jiu-jitsu. I wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about.
Right.
I wanted to make sure I understood it. And I went to Vegas with Rogan one time, and that was when McGregor was going to fight Diaz the first time.
Right.
And I'll never forget that Diaz went like this, and McGregor squinted. And I thought about it all night. Like after the weigh-in, I bet maybe $20.
Yeah.
Just to watch the fight. And then I went up to my room and I started thinking about it. I'm like, Diaz is a jiu-jitsu guy.
Right.
All his life from the beginning. That's a different strength. That's a different strength.
Right.
That's a different endurance level. I go, you know what? I'm going to bet Diaz. I never forget calling my wife and going, put money in the ATM account. And she's like, for what? What do you? I go, I'll show you. I bet like 1,000 on Diaz.
I couldn't believe. He probably got good odds too, right?
No, he beat him.
I remember that. He beat him. Yeah.
He beat him, yeah. Because
he choked him out.
He choked him out because that was the only reason I bet him. I could tell you that's the only reason, because that discipline, you can't take that from somebody.
He actually, Dante, tell Joey who you wrestled with.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
My old jiu-jitsu trainer was really close with the Gracies.
Okay.
And Hoist came in and did like a small class, and we all got to spar him when I was like 11.
How was it?
It was the most insane thing ever. He he let us get him in like
Right,
a choke,
yeah.
and he tapped out. We're like, tapped out on Gracie, and he just showed us like some fundamentals. And it was pretty wild to roll with Hoist Gracie.
It's crazy.
Joey, you remember when they had the tournament? You know, it was like he used to win all the time in the beginning, Hoist Gracie.
Hoist Gracie.
And
the
then
first
everybody
UFCs
kind of just caught up
to him. Yeah. Jiu-jitsu was very special then. Now, you grew up in New York.
I grew up in the Bronx.
You remember the martial arts thing they did at the Garden every year?
No, I don't.
They used to have a martial arts thing every year. Aaron Banks, little hippie dude from New York,
right?
Jewish guy, I think he was. You know, he had a fucking all-day tournament, and it ended with a guy. They shot him with a .22, and he bit the bullet out of the air. And how he would do it was they put a glass in front of him. You can see this on YouTube. This ain't news. You put a glass in front of him. Some little French guy would come out and shoot. It would break the glass, and then he would time the bullet when it hit the glass. No, I don't know. He died. He eventually got shot. But eventually the bullets got because it was a .22. He must have gone for like a fucking 9mm. And he had a special jaw they made, like a
and he catched the bullet.
He catched the bullet and then spit it on a frying pan because it was hot. And he did it on Wide World of Sports. So like 2 or 3 Saturdays in a row. And what you could do, Mike, put that insert in, like show them whatever. They have it on YouTube.
Wow.
Wide World of Sports. So
well, I remember the Wide World of Sports.
Absolutely. So that's
the agony of defeat. That guy was going boom, bang.
And they don't have that show on anymore.
They don't, no.
Which baffles me because it was such a great. Everybody was home Saturday at 5. And even if they were playing ping pong, you didn't give a fuck. It was the guy falling from skiing.
Right, the guy.
You did not want to miss
that. You wanted to miss it.
That dude falling, breaking his neck and bouncing, the agony of defeat and all that shit.
I mean, that guy's got to be, I don't know if he's still alive.
No, he got defeated. That is the agony. That's defeat right there.
Wow.
If he lost an arm, that dude, something. He lost something in that accident. There was bodies bouncing and shit. And they weren't, there was no woke culture. Nobody got pissed off.
Wow. That's right. That's
it's so weird, a fact that people don't know. I Googled this years ago. Do you motherfuckers know how many famous people came out of the Bronx? Yeah. You'll never count the amount. There's something in the water in the Bronx. If I could do, you know what it is? It's that leftover fucking fried banana juice that they put in the sink. That shit goes right into that Bronx River.
You're from the Bronx originally?
My mother had a bookmaking operation. She had a Quality Cleaners. It was on Tremont Avenue.
Yeah.
Up there, I remember I used to go up there and I used to get chased by the Royal Javelins.
Right.
There was a bunch of street gangs, and I would just go to buy Italian ice on the corner. That was my first real experience with Italian people.